Doctor, will I be okay? This is a question that I most commonly hear as an oncologist. And for years, I answered it with scans, reports, on the basis of treatment outcomes, on the basis of survival statistics. But my patients taught me something very powerful and very extraordinary. They taught me that being okay doesn't always mean being cancer-free. They taught me that hope and recovery are way more complex and way more powerful than you can ever imagine, and often interlinked. So when a cancer is diagnosed, a set path is ready, obviously with a finish line. A surgery is planned, followed by chemotherapy cycles, a scheduled radiation therapy treatment plan is waiting, and then we think that the treatment is over, we're free from cancer, and we can resume our regular life. But can we? I don't think so. Because that's not how cancer operates. That's not how it functions. Because recovery is not in a moment. It is a process. It is a process which is multi-layered. It is the recovery of the physical self, of the emotional well-being, of your own identity. Physical recovery is what we all are familiar of. It's what your doctors talk about. It's about recovering from the side effects that you've developed from the multiple forms of treatment, adapting your body to the changes that are temporary or permanent from the treatment. Emotional recovery is very necessary. Emotional recovery is from the constant sage that the entire family weathers together. Emotional recovery is from the constant exhaustion before every blood test, which always seemed like a high-stake examination where result could mean life or death. A recovery of an identity, which is the most complex process, but nobody talks about. It's who am I after the diagnosis of this disease? Who am I after the cancer is diagnosed? This often reminds me of one of my patients. She developed cancer, she completed her treatment, and then she was free of the disease. By every medical definition, her scans were clear and she was fine. But what she said made me wonder. Once she came to me and she said, "Doctor, everybody is celebrating, but I feel lost." Maybe it was the fear of recurrence that was looming. Who knows? But in that moment, I realized that we often plan to prepare our patients for how the treatment is going to be. But we fail to tell them what's coming next. We fail to tell them that how recovery is going to unfold. Because recovery is not always about going back to the starting line. Recovery is about rebuilding. Rebuilding a body that is constantly changing. Rebuilding a life that feels unfamiliar. Rebuilding an identity that is still unfolding, yet fearless. And all this takes immense strength. Strength is not something that you wait for. Strength is something that you choose. Because life adapts, and so does hope. Hope may look different when the cancer was diagnosed. It looks like cure. Hope looks different when the treatment was going on. It was a ray of the response. Hope is entirely different when the disease is incurable. It is longing for more time, more comfort, maybe just looking forward to yet another day. Hope takes multiple stages. And I have seen strength. I have seen strength in people because as doctors, we cannot give false hopes. Neither we can take it away. But we can always work towards this common goal, which is resilience. Resilience to always move forward, no matter what. Because the strength comes in different ways. I have seen strength in the patient who wanted to attend his daughter's wedding despite of disease progression, and he did. I've seen strength in the patient who wanted to go to work because he now can, after a hefty surgery, and he did. I have seen strength in the patient who once came to me and said, "I no longer feel like the same person who started the treatment, but I rather feel stronger." It is this change in the identity that shifts their reality entirely. They no longer fall prey to the victim mindset, but now are confronting every challenge, moving towards it vigorously like a hurdle race, only to win. And the part that surprises me the most is the ripple effect of this optimism is often seen in how the treatment outcomes are. And we often see miracles. So I think it's high time that we redefine how we see recovery. Recovery is always not about going back to where we started from before cancer or before the treatment started. It is not the absence of disease. It is what it has made us into. And when we have become stronger than ever before, learning to live in the spaces between the storms and come out stronger. Recovery is not the absence of disease, but the presence of life. And hope makes that life possible. Because cancer can be an interruption to the story, but it doesn't get to choose how your story continues. Thank you.